about the predicting future work challenge and translating them into the HRM and L&D system design. And first of all, I would like everyone to have to get a big applause for our special guest speaker today. I would like to introduce Miss Bùi Kiều Anh, Vietnam Country HR Director, Procter and Gamble. And then Miss Nguyễn Hoàng Tiến Linh, HR Manager, Procter and Gamble. All right, and first of all, I also would like to invite Professor Han to come on the stage, and he's gonna share some introduction tips about this session.
Hello, thanks a lot for joining today. I am the man who is behind all your troubles. I've designed the assignment structure, also invited the available guest speakers to include industry practice to our teaching. And I like this course a lot because we are using authentic assessments. Also, we are able to learn what kind of issues are going on the ground. And then we invited one of the best in the world, P&G. And then we have two good role models here. One is the operation of all HR for P&G in Vietnam. And the second guest speaker is another very good role model for you because she graduated from RMIT. So that means you are seeing two good cases in front of you where you want to be after graduation. One is in the beginning of, not beginning, right? 4 to 5 years. Second year of is in her assignment, and now she's holding the title of HR manager and quite a success story. Also, I know that she also did internship like you that you want to do later. So the beauty of this assignment, the P&G, gives us a good opportunity to select maybe some of you for an internship in the company on condition that you will prepare your assignment too well. And then we select 5 best assignments out of 5 groups. And those 5 groups will come again to give a pitch to P&G, and then they will listen the pitch and they will select some groups or maybe some individuals to invite to their internship in P&G. So this is a perfect opportunity for you. So basically, and let's listen our guests carefully. Also, we have students joining from Hanoi, and in total, and we are expecting to have about 90 students. And also it's a good branding opportunity for P&G, I guess. You have 90 potential good students in front of you listening very interestingly. Thanks a lot. So should I invite you first to the stage, and I don't want to introduce them in detail because they know themselves better than me. They will introduce themselves. Thanks a lot for joining.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Dr. Han, and also Ms. Han on the code for the opportunity. Hello, everyone. Can you hello me back as well? Hello, everyone. Louder, please. Hello, everyone. How are you today? Good? Not good? Don't know. Good, right? I ask again. How are you today? Okay, so I will need a lot of energy for this session because what I'm seeing here is not only RMIT students. What I'm seeing here is a group of our HR future leaders. So I have a high hope on you and high expectation on you as well. Okay, so can I get your 100% each of attention, focus, participation throughout the session? Yes or no? Promise? Okay. So now let's have a quick introduction. So together with me today, we also have Linh, right? So let me quickly introduce about myself and also our dear co-speaker today.
I switched to slide 13, but
So there's some of the internet connection technology. So, okay, don't need to wait for the slide. Let me introduce myself. I'm Woon Yoai. This is my 8 years working in VG, and VG is my first full-time company. So over 8 years working in VG, currently I'm the country HR director for Procter & Gamble. I start scratch right after I graduate from Foreign Trade University, coming to work for Bình Dương plant, fabric and home care plant of VG, where we produce Ariel, Downy, Febreze also, which we exported to Korea. Right, and during almost 5 years working in VG Bình Dương plant, I was the HRBB, HR business partner. You must be familiar with it very small, but in VG we call it HRBAM, business account management. Right? So I was the HRBAM for manufacturing and operation of around more than 280 employees under my camp. Right? And then I learned a lot about the EVE. I learned a lot about operation. I learned a lot about employee relations, employee well-being, a lot of key pillars that I believe that RMIT also equip you with the knowledge ready for you to become the HR professionals in the future. Right? And after that, I moved to Vietnam, VG Vietnam SMO. SMO stands for Selling Market Operations, which is like the general office, where I moved from manufacturing end to the front end of sales organization, commercial, marketing, branding, everything is there, right? And I'm leading the distributor operation, partnering with all of the distributors, which have more than 1,400 sellers, bringing our VG products to the end of the consumer, to the hands of the consumers. And here I am after like 6-7 years working in VG, get promoted to the country HR and leading the country across 3 sites, 2 plants, two manufacturing plants, and 1 general office in VG, and approximately more than 800 employees. So about a little bit about myself, I'm ESTJ by characteristic, my MBTI. So you can see me that at the beginning, right? I want to get a lot of energy from you as well, so that I feel more energized myself for the 2-hour session. So please keep me awake, and I promise to keep you awake as well, right? So thank you for the opportunity again, and here comes my co-speaker today, Lily.
Okay, so very, very impressive introduction from our Vietnam country HR, right? So now this is my turn. So I prepared direct report from very day one as an intern. So for me, I am from England. So I am RMIT alumnus, as Ms. Dr. R. already introduced you guys. So I joined P&G as an intern from December 23, which is like exactly 2 years ago. And then I have a 3 months of internships and get converted right after that to HR manager from April 2024 and working as an HR manager from that day to now. So my scope is more on like regional Malaysia, Singapore, Vietnam. So I'm doing HRPP for product supply across 3 countries and also the HR analytics for a few countries also. And I am in charge of Vietnam EVE. So what is EVE? Later on, we will figure it out. And yeah, my profile is not that impressive compared to Gyeon. As someone who's already have 8 years with P&G, I only have 2 years. So that's basically me. Before P&G, I also did some other internship in a startup, more than a year in a PropTech startup, and also Heineken for 9 months, sorry. And then, yeah, I'm ISFP, a little bit different from her, but I think we actually really
We work well as a team, by the way, for your information.
complement well with each other, and I'm really glad to have her as my manager from day one. So that's basically about me. So now give it back to you.
So we'll not talk much about ourselves here because actually we would like to share you a little bit further on our personal stories as a HR professionals and as an authentic employee from B&G as well. But stay tuned, more to come. Now talk a little bit about B&G, right? Do you know about B&G before this session? or because you see the guest speakers, so you're just doing the research and know who is B&G, what is B&G, which company product is. So raise your hand if you know about B&G before this section.
So you guys should not come because of assignments.
Okay, so B&G is a global company, and we are serving more than 5 million consumers across 180 countries. More than 1/3 of the countries we have our manufacturing site or general office to serve the dedicated countries, right? And I'm very happy and honored to be part of the team that generating more than 100,000 jobs and careers for everyone joining us globally. So this is a little bit about B&G. We'll talk about that more later. Can you click to another slide? Yes. And Link, will you share a little bit about our products, our brands, how we sector our business across the globe?
Okay, so as Yuan already shared, P&G is a global company with a very diverse portfolio to help to serve the consumer and help to elevate their lifestyle, right? So here are some of the business sectors that we are having across the globe. So we have fabric and home care. So you're gonna familiarize yourself with Tide, Ariel, Downy here in Vietnam. And then baby and pet care. We also have family care. So these are the categories that not very do much in Vietnam. So next we have beauty. Beauty, we have a very diverse portfolio. For example, like Olay, Head and Shoulder, Pantene, Rejoice. And then grooming. Grooming is actually, we are the leading player across the different markets in AMA, Asian, Middle East, and Africa. We also have a very cutting-edge, top-notch technology with a Bencat manufacturing plant to produce these grooming products and supply that to across the regions. And then finally, we also have healthcare. So we're gonna have ROV, Crest, but that's some of the portfolio that do more in the developed markets. So that's basically on our portfolios. So.
Okay, so actually, I only have 2 slides of B&G introduction, so that's it. Now it is your chance because this section is about your subject, your expectation. So I would like to understand what do you want to get out of this section. So it is about you. So if you say that, okay, I don't want slide, let's have a conversation. I will close the slide and we talk, right? If you want, okay, I want another topic. I don't want HR topic. I want another topic. Okay, I can talk with you as well. So anything you want, I try to solve. Any hands? What is the expectation for today? You come without any expectation for the section today? Okay.
Oh, sure. My expectation would be, I mean, before this session, I anticipated the Q&A session the most because I did prepare questions for the assignment, of course, because, you know, that's like the end goal. But at the same time, like, I would love to know more about, like how your e-library is constructed, because it relates a lot to, you know, L&D as such, and it also relates a lot to, you know, what the assignment is asking us to do. So that's what I'm like anticipating from like this session. Most of the Q&A for now.
Okay, so you very spot on that you want more information, related information, and how the platform look like to understand more about the assignment, right? What else? What else would you expect from here? All of you are final year student or still final year student, all right? Okay.
Years.
So any other expectation for the team here? You promised me you give me energy, huh? Okay, I'll just do the random pick, huh? Can I have your expectation?
Expect you to hear about your industry challenge, and you can decide how to solve this challenge in your industry.
and industry inside, how to solve the problem. Let me find another expectation. Yes, from you. Yes, we play plan.
Can you repeat your question?
What is the expectation for today's session?
I expected to have more insights from HR of PMG and to get inspired and then apply for PMG as HR.
Okay. So you want to join our discussion, basically. Anyone else? I see your hands, right? You want to say something? Just stand up and speak it out loud so that everyone can hear you. And what is
What
what?
is student have?
Okay. What is the expectation for today's section? Yeah, you. Okay. Wait for your thinking, right? Okay.
What am I supposed to? What is
Okay, so you want to know about the expectation, what is waiting for you outside? Right, when you go to work, right? So the first thing is sharing, be ready. So that is the reason why that when I give you the mic, you need to speak up your mind. Right? So the first thing is that as an HR, every day you come to work, you don't know what is happening. Of course, 80% of it is the strategy, the game plan that you have put in place for your own organization, right? But there's always some fire in the corner that you figure out every day. So my first thing to you that I hope can somehow first satisfy your need coming to this section is be ready. Okay? And be flexible every day. I think I get quite some of the expectation, which is about the assignment details, which is about what can we expect and what we need to equip as an HR professional outside. And then the ladies above, you want to share anything before I start next? Any further expectation from you? Speak it loud so that everyone on the call can hear you well as well. Okay,
How do you manage employees' performance?
employee performance, okay. Clear the expectation, now let's start the job. So we're talking about career, we're talking about performance management. Yeah, we're talking a little bit on the L&D. So EVP, have you ever heard about this wording before? What is it? Any subject in HR, in IMIT that you heard about EVP? You can do the research as well. Okay. 30 seconds. Okay. You please. Okay, employee value proposition. So what does it mean? So it is more about the employee assessment, you mean? What else? You can do the research. And what is EVP in the research? The first one that you can read from your laptop. What is EVP? Okay. If I only give you one sentence to describe what is EVP means, can you make it for me? One sentence only to describe about what is EVP. So I understand EVP is employee value proposition, right? A strategy to keep and value the employee. Also good, huh? Also a good definition. So now I will twist a little bit. Earlier I said that externally people call the title is HRBP, HR business partner. internally, we have a different dictionary and we say it HR BAM, HR Business Account Management. So everything going the same in BG. We have our own definition and our own dictionary when it comes to employee experience. We don't call it EVP, we call it EVE. Employee Value Equation. Because the original definition of EVP, if I summarize it in one sentence, that is the company in the eyes of the employee. Right? EVP is the definition of a company in the eyes of the employees. So whatever the employee expects from the company, salary, benefit, learning, career development, first moment of truth, and also last moment of truth, which is the departure process when the employee exits the company. So all of that depends on who employee we are talking about. Their own definition is their own EVP, sorry. And when it brings to BG, we call it EVE, equation, employee value equation, because we believe that in BG, we co-create everything. BG plus me equal to mutual success. So what does it mean by that? Because for example, if we as a company offer you a very high salary and benefit and total rewards package, right? But as an employee, what you expect is not about money. Okay, my family is rich enough. I don't need to work for money, right? I'm not a money labor. But what I want is the learning. What I want is the development. So the need will never be met, right? If the two could not come and co-create the plan together. So that is why when it brings to BG, we make it EVE and we co-create any career plan, put employees at the focus. So EVP, when you do the research, normally they will mention 5 or 6 key pillars. They're talking about the people, the culture, they're talking about the leadership, they're talking about the total rewards, they're talking about the flex location. Now that Gen Z prefer to work from home or working from anywhere, promotes very fast career development, everything, right? But in BG, over 180 plus years of us working globally, we have find out our recipe of success in EVE, including 4 factors that you are seeing on the screen. The first one is inspire, the inspiration, the reason why you first apply at BG, why you choose to stay long with BG, and then why you also decided to leave BG, but for a good reason. So first one, inspire. Second thing is making an impact. Impact here have many diverse definition. So that impact can be to you as a person, for me as an HR professional, for any employee joining the career journey with BG. And the impact can also be interpreted into how impact I can make every day at work to our consumers, to our customers, and also to giving back to the communities. The next one is on growing. The example I shared with you earlier, right? So we believe that Gen Z now, statistically, is showing that 70% of our Gen Z today come to work, and their number one top driver, top motivator is the learning and career development, right? And last but not the least is value and rewarded. You cannot work for the company where you don't feel I don't add any value to the company. I'm not being recognized. My work is hidden somewhere else and no one go now and then even give a little bit of recognition to it. Right? So throughout the EVE, we're not talking anything about the theory, what we did in terms of the strategy, but we go with a different approach. So you will be listening to the stories of myself and of Yinling also throughout the journey. So we'll share you as an HR professional and as an authentic employee in BG, how we live EVE value. So there will be no theory. So as we share our own personal story, I'm looking forward to receive a lot of questions from your end as well. So feel free to stop us anytime you have questions. You don't need to wait until the end, right? And the reason why we are talking a little bit about EVE, but not yet come to your expectation about, okay, let's talk L&D only. Because in B&G and as an HR professional, the second advice to you, we not looking into one problem. And you cannot solve the problem end to end. You are only looking like this, very silo, right? As an HR professional, you need to know that you need to look and think very end to end and holistically, right? You need to understand about the business argument. When I was an HR in operation, I need to talk their language. What is PR? Process reliability. They're talking about the machine learning. For example, in the plants back then, when we're talking about the SOP, that is standard operating principles. But when I move within B&G, I move to the general office side of sales and marketing. SOP is size of price. How much value one initiative can bring to the company, right? So that is why before we zoom into the L&D topic, learning development, career development, we need to understand as a people, as an overall B&G, as an overall HR strategy, how it goes live. And L&D is a very important and critical, as I shared earlier, one of the top motivator and driver for employees now at work, especially in your generation. Okay, so let's start.
So before we get into the details, let's have a quick videos for you to have a look and feel of how EV goes into life for each and every P&G employees.
When I came to P&G, I was just married. My husband and I both got offers at the same time to 2 different companies on 2 different coasts.
As a gay man, I grew up with stigma and shame attached to my identity.
Something happened with my son. Less than a month after he was born, what the doctor explained was that it was a complication in his intestines.
So you focus more on the audio.
Coming
rather
from
than
immigrant parents with a dollar in their back pocket, it is often hard for me to show up at work without having an immense gratitude for the opportunity and the privilege to work with a company like P&G.
Automatically, I felt like they understood I was coming into a new company, moving into a new area. You know, let's give her somebody to kind of just talk to and kind of, you know, feel like she has somebody in her corner.
The whole management, my manager, HR, were very supportive. They've been with me in the entire process, honestly. And this is when I realized that P&G is not just a place where you work. P&G is really looking at your holistic growth.
You are who your friends are, you are who your colleagues are. And for me, I'm surrounded with colleagues who just inspires me to be better every day.
I felt that there was a reason why I am working in P&G.
It's almost a miracle. It's been part of that dream for my parents, right?
My name is Archie Riva.
My name is Erica Andrade.
I am Louis Morante.
I'm Dr. Ashley Taylor,
And
and this is my P&G story.
So that wraps up for the review. Okay, of course, there's some technical issues with it, but I hope that you get the essence of it, of how the P&G employees, they perceive P&G, like through our EVE holistic program that we try to deliver to each and every of our employees. Right?
Yeah, for some it is dual career that they value. For some it is the financial well-being that, like for their parents, that they feel proud. And for some it is the recognition, the learning and development. Now we're coming back to a little bit details where I promise that I will make it personalized, no theory, right? So first and foremost, I shared you earlier, right? Everything we design from the HR standpoint is around the people and the business. And we are talking about, and the first point that we're talking about is people, top priority. So B&G was established around almost 200 years ago. And this is our third CEO, Richard. And right after Procter and Gamble, which is the brothers that established the company, he comes after as a CEO. So from the CEO mindset and vision at that time, they already mentioned that, okay, if you take away all of our buildings, all of our operation, all of our brands, but leave back our people, I will build back everything in a decade. So that has been the very first inspirational to me to join BNG. That is about the vision when they're talking about their own people. Yeah, when they don't need anything else but keeping back our people. So people is our most important asset that we'll keep back even if we leave everything out. Right? And the next one is about the, yeah. So stop here a little bit. We have a small quiz. What do these companies have in common? The name looks familiar to you, right? Estee Lauder, Coca-Cola, Dyson. What do these companies have in common? Can you make a guess? Huh? Large enterprise.
Very large MNC enterprises
Okay.
globally.
Correct, but not the answer for this question that I expected. Any other guess? Okay. Second tips, why you are not yet like that. Yeah. Second tips, why you are working. So in BG, every interaction counts. As an HR professional, if you cannot role modeling about speaking up your mind, being proactive, who can you like? What can you ask for from your own employees, right? So I will continue to give you the tips along the way. And sharing you my story as well. But before that, I'm looking forward to your proactiveness, a lot of questions, a lot of bouncing back ideas. Just throw an answer. It doesn't need to be perfect. Huh? There's no wrong or right here. What do these companies have in common? Yes.
Values. Recognize.
Yeah, same sorts of values. Very nice. What else? Anyone on the call, if you want to unmute yourself and then join us for the answer, feel free as well. We want to engage the 100 campers on the Q&A section as well. Any other guests? Okay, let's make no further ado. Our answer is that for all these companies, their current or their ex-CEO are from BNG. Because BNG, unfortunately, is well known to be the university of many CEO around the world. And we have proven statistics to prove that. So for the next slide, we will be sharing with you in details for the numbers.
So to make it very statistically proven, we have more than 11,000 like global C-suite executives that have started their career at P&G. So they started very early in PG, where PG gave them a lot of learning, growth, and then when they graduated from PG, they become CEO, CFO, COO, whatsoever, right? And then besides, with a very strong view from within culture in PG, where we treat every employee in a way that we try to help them explore to their fullest potential, right? We have more than 99% of our PG senior leaders are produced within the company, which means that we build them up from their day one until they become our senior leaders. So that's a very common practice where you see from other companies, big companies, like they will post job to, look for a CEO, look for a GM, look for a sales director, HR director, very commonly. So they outsource, they ask, look for the talent to fit in their pipeline. But for us, we actually build the pipeline when they're very young in the company, and we make them into our senior leaders. So that's what the promote from within culture looks like for PG.
So because of promote from within, so you can see that Link as a graduate from RMIT and me as a graduate from FTU, we both joined BNG very early on. And BNG empowers us to be the manager from day one. And continue to grow it throughout the assignments, throughout the experience in HR, so that I can become who I am today. So for the leadership point, I want to talk more a little bit because when I was still a very small child, parents, relatives, and some of the friends just asked me, what is your dream job? Okay, so I will not answer it like, if I have a dream, why do I need to have a job? I will dream that I have money without a job, right? But that is not the answer. When I was a small child, I share to parents and also whoever asked me that question is that I want to become a manager and a director in the future. Then, and B&G realized that dream for me. From day one, I graduated from FTU Foreign Trade University. B&G offered me a job called HR manager. So they trust me and they empower me more than like the capability that I think I have from day one. So just like you imagine today you are sitting here, but the next month, the next few months, and you graduate from the RMIT, right? Some company give you the offer, can you be the manager of the company, right? That would be something, of course, very proud, but at the same time, you feel nervous. But in BG, the leadership is that they're empowering a lot for the people. And then after 7 years working in BG as a manager, I step up into the senior manager and then step up into the director level. So I don't think, maybe very rare, all of other companies can offer you that opportunity about the fast track as long as you continue to perform, evolve, and deliver the good result and be your authentic self every day at work, right? And coming back to another angle of inspiration of BG, why I decided to work for the company is about the sustainability, the giving back to the community. So our tagline before used to be BG, touching lives, improving life. But our tagline for now, right after COVID, we revalue our preposition is on force for good and force for growth. So we're growing while delivering the positive impact to the community where we have our brands and our company to serve. So I'll take one example. So have you ever heard about the project of children safe drinking water? That is the specialty of Vietnam. So in BG, we not only do a research and produce the product that for the commercial purpose to sell to the consumers, but we also have a group of scientists who develop, do the R&D and like study for a long years to produce a specialty, we call it powder of water purification. And this product is to distribute to the community of Africa, even for the central or the north of Vietnam during the flooding of Mekong Delta during the month that they don't have clean water to drink. The magic of this powder is that when you put it into the water, you stir it and you give some time for all of the dirt to come down. The above water is drinkable. And this product is never for sale. That is the specialty, the mission that BG believe that we have this one just to purely serve the community for free. And that is why that has been one of the two key inspirations why I applied my job for BG. So the first thing is about the leadership, and BG keep its promise to make me come into the leadership position. I know that 8 years is still very humble. So the first moment of truth when I joined the VGCO Academy, or now we call the competition is Bigcathon. Some of our IMIT students also apply for Bigcathon, right? For the leadership training program, right? And when I was there, I got inspired by how BG build and create the leaders for the future. And now I'm happy that I'm a part of the journey. Going next.
So to just tap on the very first factor within EV, we have 4 factors, right? The second factors would be mix impact. So with P&G, you relatively easy to see the word day one. So mix impact from day one. So as I shared with you, I joined P&G as an intern, and then it was a 3-month internship, and I was given 3 projects to work on. So all these 3 projects are either the projects that are very hard, like no one has the capacity in the company to really think through and work on that. So it's a real business solution. So that is something when I step in, I have to really understand business acumen, the business operation to enable to really give the solution that match the need of the actual business problems. So I was very fully empowered to make this meaningful impact from day one, so that as soon as I finished my internship, right, as I finished it at 31st of March, I still was like an intern. And then on the 1st of April, I was an HR manager. So that's how the P&G treat me and give me a very meaningful projects to work on and develop myself.
And you guess what? Her project not only stopped there, right? The internship project really come into life, and she's leading that as well. And for the very first like 3 to 6 months that you start to like realize that project, right? She got a regional award. And her project got a learning, got a lot of learning and sharing and reapplication across the region, and go to the HR webcast globally as well, as one of the specialty. So even the internship with P&G doesn't mean that, okay, you come for photocopy, you come for making tea and coffee, or doing some of the administration. No, we give you the real job from day one. Okay, the next one about growing. So growing will go a little bit slow and give you further insights, because that is part of the assignment requirement also, that later on will be briefed with you, right? In P&G, we say that I can have multiple careers within a career. So what does it mean? In P&G, we say that we never hire you for a job. We hire you for a career. Because from day one, actually, I don't major in HR like Yến Linh, she major in HR. But me, myself, in foreign trade university, I don't major in HR. I major in international economics. So I should be doing warehousing, logistics now, right? But P&G never care about my background. So at the beginning, right, when I'm doing the test and the interview with P&G, so they give me a list of the options which I will choose my career. Actually, I put originally, I think that I would put maybe marketing at first, HR as second, and the logistics manager as the third, right? But then I changed my mind after the leadership talk, and I mentioned to you earlier, the HR manager and the country HR at that time inspired me so much that I decided to put HR as the first priority of me. And P&G never judged me, or okay, you don't have the background, you cannot do the job. Yeah, so a lot of trust and empowerment around the way. And why I have multiple careers within a career. Because I don't think like so many companies that can offer to you the experience from manufacturing operations to the commercial side, right? And then to leading the country, being the HR for entire country. And not only for my own story, about multiple pillars of HR that I can learn, about the multiple sides of P&G that I can serve. So I can share you about Marwan. Mr. Marwan is our GM, General Manager of P&G Vietnam now. He has been 21 years with P&G. So he started his degree as a mechanical engineer. So he works for some time in electricity company in Morocco. He's Moroccan, by the way, right? And then he moved his assignment to P&G. Just okay, thinking I may start this company, like I may come to this company to learning about selling skill, because he's introvert, he's very shy to deliver the public speaking. So he said that I would like to have some job to overcome my shyness. So he just applied for sales in P&G back in Morocco. And then he doing sales, and then he moved his assignment to marketing, and then he moved his assignment to become the MSMB. It's like the trade marketing, the delivery piece of marketing to the market. And then he become the country lead for Morocco, and then he now moved to GA, and then he have a broadening assignment in HR as well during his P&G career. And then he moved to Vietnam to lead the country now. So at P&G, there's no limit as long as you continue to deliver and you show your career interest about what is the specific function or what is the specific part that you want to contribute, will open the door for you. So when I was working in Bình plant, I have 2 kids already, by the way. So the first kid is already 5 years old, and then the second one is 3 years old. So when I was the HR BAM, the HR business account manager for Bình plant, during the COVID time, there's one employee in the operation senior manager exit the company. And then the supply chain leader at that time called me and asked, Joanne, do you want to become my ODM, operation department leader? So basically, that would be the work that you work with the machine versus you work with the people. But in VG, they never hesitate that, okay, I don't have the technology or I don't have the background in engineering, I cannot do the job. No. So VG allows you to move your career horizontal, which means dedicated into the breadth of the knowledge and of the skill and of the experience, or move vertical, which is more about the depth of the knowledge and the experience that you have. So that is the flexibility and that is the empowerment also that VG give you in your own career building. So that's why when I introduce external people, we say, okay, I don't imagine any company I can work for more than 2 years. But in VG, I got impressed because my 8 years seem to be very small. Some of the very senior leaders, in line with the view from within philosophy, right? They have been working for the company for 20, 30 years and still counting. And I was like 30 years, my age already. So when I was born to apply for, you already started working in the VG, right? So that is why when I say that, I can experience a lot of jobs and careers within one career with VG.
And enable for you to explore different careers and then let's say do something completely different from what you originally do, right? So we must have a very robust, developing system over there to support you so that it's really available for you there so that you can move either vertically or horizontally. So that's why it's in our third pillar, which is growing. We develop the people we work with to reach their full potential. So this is a little bit linked to our case study. So we got to go slow a little bit here. So let's say over here, we call it RMIT University, right? In P&G, we also have university and college. So let's say we're going to have university for every single function that you work for. We have brain university, we have HR university, we have sales university. So what is that university? So basically, it's like a intranet, it's a web where it consolidates all the kind of either hard skill, the technical expertise, and then the soft skills that you need for that functions, so that you can learn whatever the knowledge or skills that you want to acquire for that function. Let's say brand university. For now, let's say I am HR, right? But I want to learn more to get more knowledge about brand building. I can just go to the brand university and take a course there and just learn whatever is from either the very foundational to very advanced knowledge there. And the same apply the same for let's say one person in sales, suddenly they want to, progress more in their career. As let's say GM, they want to do some broadening assignments in HR. They can just go to HR University. There's like a holistic e-learning library there for them to just go through the materials. There's some like self-led trainings. They have some materials to read through, and there's also some homework so that they can work on this as well. So it's very self-paced, and it's really up to their own need, right? So that linked a little bit to your case study. So right now we already have that robust system. Everything is there. Everything you need is already there. But how can we encourage? How can we help our employees to take their time to go there and learn? Right, because everything they need is there, but the thing is that they said, I'm just too busy to learn. I cannot prioritize my learning. So now, as P&G, we're very focused on growth. We already have all the systems there available for them. How can we, as an HR, help to facilitate, help to, encourage them to take this to the most, so that we can develop our people and be our future senior leaders? So that is on the growing. So I'll stop here a little bit in case you have any questions in terms of this, because I know that it links to the case study. And just about this one, okay, really more details in the case study, we'll have some time at the end so that you can ask more specific. But in terms of this growing pillar in general, anything?
To give you a little bit of insight, so in B&G career, in B&G learning and development, we do follow the framework of 70, 20, and 10. Have you ever heard about this framework? What does it mean? 70, 20, and 10. Who knows? Yeah. Yes.
The tree.
Yeah, almost there, almost there. So what Link just shared is about the internet.
10%.
So that is mostly on the 10%. And also Link also joining the college. I think just a month ago, she come back from the 1 week college in Singapore. And then that is only account for the 10%. 10%, basically it is a self-learning and classroom learning. 20% is you learning from peers, from mentors, from your line managers, from the feedback of others, right? And 70% is where you learn the most, learning through doing, learning by doing, right? So in the assignment itself, how can you make the learning experience very holistic, end-to-end, from theory to practice? So 10% now, I think we are very confident. 20 we also have, 70 we also have. But how we move the motivation from 10%? People do reach out to mentors, to line managers, to peers to get the feedback, and also how they apply the theory into the real practice. Right, so keep that in mind during your design.
So time-wise, we come to our very last pillar in our EB.
Valued and rewarded. So this is the thing that I drawn out from my experience with B&G. I feel appreciated that my total rewards evolve throughout my professional and personal milestones. So a while ago, right, I shared with you that there are 3 reasons I decided to join B&G and stay with B&G so far. The first one is about the leadership inspiration. The second one is about the sustainability and also the opportunity to grow every day. And the last one is about B&G keep its promise. And B&G actually the witness of many key milestones of my life. So I joined B&G in 2017. After that, like 1 year after that, I met my life partner, my husband there in Bình plant. So we got married. So after that, 1 year I have the first baby. So I delivered the first baby in 2020, right? And that time, if you still recall, that was the COVID time. Everyone got locked down, but the plants still need to operate because B&G is FMCG company. And if you recall at that time, the authorities will still need to encourage the operation and the manufacturing side for FMCG products to continue to be produced to serve the community and the employees, right? B&G is in that list to continue to get operation. So a lot of calls, a lot of night calls, a lot of like discussion. You remember 2 location, 1 route, 2 cung đường, 1 địa điểm. So which we need to design for our employees to stay in 1 location and only come back and forth between that hotel that we book dedicated for B&G and also the manufacturing side that they need to produce the product every day. And we need to split into the 2 teams, team A, team A, and team B, because they cannot get impacted. If one got positive COVID, the rest will like be quarantined. You remember that time, right? So that was really a tough time. And I was an E person, extrovert person. Being the first mom, being the first time being a mom, got locked down in home, like consistently, like continuously calls to manage all of the operation for our employees, for people, for tests every day and now, right? And ensuring the plant is stopped. With the canteen is still on, with the bus is still on, with the line, the operation line is still on, right? I got stressed out. My 6-month-old baby keep crying because I cannot cook for her. I totally say I on myself on the cold. So I feel a little bit of depressed, not depressed after give birth, but a little bit of depressed. And I even think of, okay, should I quit BG at that time? But then I did submit my resignation letter. So that is my year 3, year 4 in the company. So I did submit my resignation letter, but the manager at that time called me and said that, why don't you ever share that you got overstretched? Why don't you share that you need help? So he jumped in and helped me. He said that in BG, unless you got into a director level and unless you have an international assignment, don't jump, don't quit. Trust me, stay a little bit more, hang in there a little bit more. So okay, I draw back my resignation letter. And then I'm still here, very happy, continue the journey. Right? And then after the first baby and after COVID, we come back to operation and no more. I continue to work for BG Bình plant, a fabric and home care plant where we produce down here area, as I mentioned earlier, right? I continue to deliver the second baby. So I was a fast track in personal and in career at the same time. In 3 years, I have 2 babies. Yeah. So I deliver my second baby. And then during my last month of pregnancy, my manager asked me, what do you want to do next? So I shared to him that, okay, I have learned a lot in terms of manufacturing and operation. I understand at the back end how BG produce our superiority of the products already. Now can I come to the front end? So it's very rare. Normally in some of others company, they also question when you continue to have like babies and when you continue to take off from maternity leave, they will give a question mark in your career. But at BG, during my pregnancy time of the second time already, the manager continued to coach and to help me to build my career. So I said that I want an assignment in the front end of the business, which is on the commercial sales and marketing field. And he said, okay, let's lock the assignment before you officially go on maternity leave. And he gave me a promise. So actually, I'm doing the C-section for the second baby. So I already take 2 weeks off before I really deliver the baby. So during that 2 weeks time, he said, sorry, going to bother you during the maternity leave. I know that you are already on leave, but can you call me for your own announcement? So I was announced to move to the SMO 6 months. Because for maternity leave, right, I need to take 6 months off. But before I went on maternity leave, I already announced my next role. So that is how BG taking care of employees' career. So I'm taking peaceful 6 months off for the second baby, and then coming back, moving to another side. So I need to learn and relearn a lot of things on knowing it's within BG itself. But I continue to get the empowerment from my manager, my colleagues, my peers. So I still give the breastfeeding for my kids until the 20 months, so almost 2 years, as recommended by the doctor, right? So that is how BG enable. And as I have the first baby, right? Yeah, before I go on, but I went on maternity leave on the first baby, I get promoted to the senior manager level. And after I deliver the second baby, coming back, working for another 1 year, I get promoted to the country HR director. So that is why at the beginning I said that it seems like BG trusts me more than I trust myself and enable me throughout the journey. So I mentioned about the promotion, but you also understand that behind the scene, right, all of the total rewards that P&G give me also evolve. As I increase my number of family members, and as I move into the career milestone from manager to senior manager and to the director levels. So that is something that I always feel very grateful for, and continue to giving back to whoever, like as an employee in P&G, like Lynn, for example. So I hope that I give you all the flexibility and enablement.
Correct. So when it comes to total rewards, it's of course there's C&B, there's a lot of support in terms of promotion, but it's also how the company treats you. So even with P&G, you can be just your authentic self, and then P&G is value for who you are. And then of course the company also very supportive in terms of recognition as well, because we have the reward and recognition to go hand in hand with each other, right? So as I shared, as I join in, you maybe somehow don't know whether you're doing good job or not. You don't have to worry about it in P&G, because the moment you continue to get the rewards, the moment you continue to get the meaningful projects you work on, that's when you know that you're doing well. So that's a very strong motivation for you to keep moving forward. So let's say when I just finished my internship projects, right, I get some of the awards already, so that I will continue to operationalize it, share it further, and as I finish the projects, the rewards keep coming. Like I just finish it for like 8 months, and I have a whole year after that just to take a lot of rewards from the country level, the regional, the global level. So that's how the company very appreciate your efforts into that, and that's a very strong motivation for you to keep moving forward and keep contributing and learning, continue to grow yourself to keep contribute back to the company. So that's basically wrap up our ED. So this is a very quick video for you to have a little. So this is a video for you to have a look and feel of how diverse and how the employees, our employees in P&G, because we're working with a regional team. So annually we will gather with each other, and we'll have some R&R. We have a reward recognition section. We have a business deployment section. So this to give you a look and feel of how very diverse our team is, so that you can be more better in mind in designing your case study. So it's a little bit like, but I hope that you can have one get the case and feel. And I'm the project leader of this as well.
Hello, Vietnam. Everybody got in, settled in. Do we love the place? Excellent. So now I'm going to call out each country, and I want the other countries to recognize that country. I want to hear a loud cheer for Singapore team. Malaysia team. And last but not the least, the host, Vietnam.
So this is the event in five-star hotel in Hoi An. It's a resort and we gather all the employees across the different countries, invited, and then we have 2 days of celebration. And then we receiving all digital ones. So yeah, this is the important one. The very first time that we gathered together. So I think this is a very look at it all together.
I'm on top of the world. Hey, I'm on top of the world. Hey. Waiting on this for a while now.
This is our Vietnam Empire. One of the most wonderful words for your work. So that's it.
Yeah, so a little bit sorry for the technical issue because of the internet connection. However, I think you have some flavor of how diverse our audience, our customer, which is our employees, right? So that you can keep that in mind, designing and thinking. So just to conclude, right? At the end of the day, so everything, whatever we do for the organization, for the business, is to serve our BG value and to serve better our consumers every day, more than 5 billion that we are consumers every day that we are serving, to serve better our people. Our top priority, our most valuable assets that we have in the company, and at the same time, giving back to the community. So I hope that with the EVE framework and how BG bring it to life, and some of the personal story and experience from me and Lin can pretty much wrap up into how an employee journey look like in BG end to end, from the first moment of truth to the last moment of truth. Right. So that is something about the inspire, the making impact, about growing and development, and also feeling rewarded and valued. Yeah. So that is pretty much about some of the information and some of the look and feel that you can keep in mind during your design of the capability program for the company. Now, let you wait no more. We come into the case brief. So while waiting for the slide to show, you have a yes. Yes.
So, let's talk a lot about peer development.
Yes.
Not about learning, and not about development. But I have questions about retention.
Okay.
You already said that a lot of your, I feel that PNG try their best to build the capability, of every employee to their most potential. But then you also said that they become other companies' CEO. So do you feel it be like a bit regretful? And it will be, and how did you handle the gap that when that person leaves?
Okay. So actually, if you ask me, BG don't have the attrition issue, don't have the issue with the turnover rate. Our turnover rate is, I cannot share in details number because that is confidential, but we are much better than the average of the industry. So we have a very healthy rate of attrition across three sides and across the globe. Yeah, to start with. However, I don't perceive like our senior leaders in B&G coming to other companies and become the C-suite or become the leaders for other companies as a disadvantage, but more like advantage. Because B&G mission and vision is to serve the community, to serve the consumers, and to serve our people. So we believe that with all of the learning, development, and the great mindset, the great value that B&G has embedded, has equipped for that leaders. So wherever they are, they can still continue to try, to shine, and to do good for the community. So actually, we feel proud about it versus feel regretful about why people leave company. So I think people stay or people leave for many reasons. As an HR professional, we're trying our best to ensure that we retain the right people, the right workforce for the company, right? For example, I give you, there are many times employees come to me and ask, give me the resignation letter. So that is a part of the HR life, right? So they will come and ask, can I consult you a little bit? I have a better offer outside, right? As an HR professional, what would you do at that moment? And let's say that this is some employee, one of the employees that I really want to keep because of the outstanding performance, about the good skill set, a good experience, and very high level that they are coming to you. So if you were in that situation, you will be the HR director of the country, and people come to you and ask, okay, I have a better offer. I want to resign from the company. What would you do? Let's see if you would react like normally I react. You want to answer also? Yeah. You try first and then you say.
Normally we would try to make it like negotiation. When our like very valuable employee said that he has a better option, like better offer out there, then as an HR, I would try to negotiate and to see how is that offer really better, or can our in your case P&G can really be an option to
Can you give a little bit more details as you're running through our EVE framework, right? The entire journey of employee, right? Can you give more, like what is in the negotiation that you will talk to the employee at that time? Can you give them more money?
It depends on what they think are better, and from that we will match whatever we can. If we have in the
Okay, very straightforward. If you want money, I give you money. Okay. What else? What else? Just imagine, this is like every day at work that you may encounter if you choose HR as your career. So be prepared. What else? What else do you think you want to add in terms of negotiation point, message track, conversation to the employees? Tell it louder so that everyone understands.
So the employees can get a better offer. We need to see what the offer is and try to keep them to see, is it an offer that is an incentive or is it both? Offer all market benefits. I feel like we should try to go a bit deeper into what exactly is better for us. Does that make sense?
So I think any do and not doing is always making sense, and you will learn throughout your journey. But I will share my own experience, and there is no wrong or right when it comes to people, by the way. And actually, if normally I was in that situation, I will not come to the employee and ask, what do you want? No, I don't ask. I will step back and I ask myself first, what do I want out of the conversation with the employee? And I try to understand what do they want from the conversation as well. Right? So as I said earlier, you're not coming directly into the problem just to solve it. You need to think through first, what is causing this attrition? And what do you want out of the conversation? So sometimes, before you go into that section with the employee, when the employee submit the resignation letter to you, you already know the issue behind. So unless this is an offer that new that he or she just received, right? There may be, okay, the people manager have something with this employee that make the outstanding employee feel uncomfortable. So as an HR, you must have known it. You don't need to wait until he submit the resignation letter to know it, right? And as an HR professional, you need to understand that you are also an employee. So what if you also got another offer, right? And when you submit the resignation letter, actually you already have something in mind. Maybe you have made up your mind already. So if you keep asking and okay, can I give you more money? You want promotion? I give you promotion. That will not always work for all the case. So step back a little bit, try to consolidate and think through. Try to understand what is happening, what they want. So there will be many scenarios that you can lead to. For example, your case, right? The employee said, okay, I get a better offer, like let's say 30% higher than BG is paying me today. Can I get a better pay? Not all the case, I would say yes. Even that is the employee that I really want to keep back. Because you know what? That employee will share the same to all of others. Although I said, okay, this is confidential, you need to keep it restricted. This is the only one that I will give for you, only everything, right? But how do we know, right? They will share. They will spread it around. And the next day you receive 3 more resignation letters for the same reason. I have another better offer. So that is when you need to, before you come into that section, you need to be very clear and prepare all of the scenarios in mind. What do you want from that section? Right? And another case is that, okay, what they just, okay, I don't mean to leave. I'm just like threaten the company so that I get something else. I want to change my manager. I want to change the assignment. I want an international assignment or I want a promotion. Right? So before the section, you already know that what cards do you have on your sleeve to offer to the employees? And maybe it's just a misunderstanding or the conflict between the employee and the manager. So you need to ensure that, okay, before coming to the employee, you might have talked to the manager already. Right? Yes. Yeah, so I think it depends. In BG, we very open, like even the employee can submit the resignation letter to the GM without keeping HR or the line manager informed. Or they can just formally submit to the line manager and line manager inform HR, so whatever way. So we do it the same, we step back. And for some cases, right, although the employee is very valuable to me, like to BG or to the organization, to our organization. But as I listen to them before coming to the offer, and I understand that actually that is something very great for the employee to leave the company and move on to the next chapter. I will just come to the conversation, I talk, and I let them leave. And I manage the last moment of truth is a very memorable moment for them as the very last day in BG. That's it. You put yourself as the employee case. For example, if you have something very important, for example, your relatives or some of the family member got sick, right? You are having a very bright future in BG, but based in the south of Vietnam. Why your family members in the north of Vietnam? Right? And BG, when we come to that resignation letter, for example, they want to move back to the north to take care of their parents because they are very serious medical case of the parents. And you cannot say that BG value is that you take care of the people first, and now the employee's family have something that really in need, and you say no. So that's the easiest way that you go against your own value. Yeah, so don't be scorecard driven as a HR. You don't say that because I need to protect my turnover rate, so I cannot let the employee go, right? Before being a human resources, you need to be a human first. That is the very core thing in BG that we work on, right? And maybe you may come up, okay, I know that his mom or his parent has been sick for quite a long time, right? I would relook into what options can I offer. In BG, we have the less than full-time schedule, or we have the unpaid leave of absence, or we have some of the medical package that can give to the employee and also their dependent. So you need to come and prepare, because the moment they already submit the resignation letter, they are closer to the exit versus closer to us, right? So you cannot come, okay, let me check again and come back, and let me check again, so the next day they leave the company already. So step back, try to think through what is happening. What is the offers that I can give to the employee? What if? And then you manage it very well. And even the employee leave the company, right? I make it a best moment of truth for them as well. It doesn't mean that, okay, anyway, they leave the company, I don't need to take care of their like employee families, or I will not approve some of the vacation leave that they want to come back and taking care of the parents anymore. So that is why I said that in BG, every interaction and every moment counts. So that is why they need an HR. Else, they just need a machine, right? You submit your resignation letter, yes and no, and you won't. That is our job. I hope that it gives you some thinking and learning. Right? Always step back, thinking big, thinking in the big picture, and then take the action. Don't just jump and take the action and with the assumption, okay, they've got it money, they've got it A, B, C, D. Yes.
Like speak or something like that. So how do you use fear in the scenario of learning? So we have a learning and development challenge, and you were talking a lot about positivity, a lot about growing in value, reward, and recognition. So why don't you use fear or shame or like other factors to push people to attend those modules?
So it's a little bit of push versus pull that you mean, right? Yeah. So there will be two things that I need to address in your question. So the first one is about my own experience about work-life balance, how I'm still like doing my work, keep learning and taking care of the families. That is first, right? And the second thing is that like if I have everything available, why I did not force the employee to learn in a way. Right? Yeah, so that is two questions that I need to answer. So the first one, how I manage my time, right? As you grow up in BG, so they equip you the skill. So this year I do this task and it takes me 2 weeks to complete one slide presentation, for example. But next year it takes like it reduced into 2 days. And the year, like the year of next year as well, this will be like 2 hours. And as I grow with BG, I equip myself, I grow myself, and most of the time I grow on 70%. So everyone have their own preference. Some is very academic and they prefer classroom training. Some is very like into the 20%. I would love to hear your story and I learn from your story. And some is like, okay, don't give me theory, practice. I will learn that way. So that is how diverse our workforce is. And during my journey, right, I think I asked my manager, so not my case, but some of my colleges. What she will be doing is that the time of work is from 9 to 5. So she has a small baby. And what she will be doing is that, and the baby will sleep at 6 p.m. So she need to come back at 4 to feed the baby, take a bath of the baby, and then lull him to sleep, and then come back to work again. So what she will be doing is that she asking the manager, can I go back every day at 4 p.m. and I will come back to office around 7 p.m. And the manager said yes. So that is the time she come back or she working from home and then managing both the family and spend time on her doing and learning at the same time. The second thing is on Foxing. So yes, we do have everything. And actually you mentioned a point that the company have a challenge in equip the capability for people. So in BG, we don't call it really an issue. In BG, we always want to challenge the status quo. So if we are already doing that good, how can we elevate it to the next level? And we want to be the pioneer in learning and development. So it doesn't mean that that's an issue today. It's just that how can we prepare better for the future now that AI is in, many learning platform is in. So just to be clear, because if we have problem or issue with the learning and the development, how can people like us keep continue growing, doing and working in BG? And we believe that when you are your authentic self, you will perform at your peak. So there will be no definition of forcing to learn here in BG. So if you want to learn, you learn. If you don't want to learn. So yes, so we do have for the EVE, we do have the annual process. We call it BDCA. Who know BDCA? What does it mean? Thus, what is BDCA? BDCA. 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 What does it mean? Can anyone say it out loud? What does it mean by BDCA? Yeah, plan, do, check, and act. That is exactly our yearly and annual cycle that we do. We planning the EVA strategy at the beginning of the fiscal year, which is normally in July. So our fiscal year not start like the calendar year from January to December. We started from July to June last year. So that is our fiscal year cycle, right? So annually at the beginning of the fiscal year, we will have the planning and strategy for the EVE plan that we would like to run on this year. And during the way around November this coming, we just finished our house survey, house check, sense check on based on what we have been doing. Is it okay? It's like a survey to the employee, focusing on some of the elements that at the beginning of the fiscal year we already defined as a focus. And on the checkpoint of that, we continue to elevate it. What is working, what is not working, we need to improve. So we have another global survey in February every year. So that is called BG annual survey. So everywhere in the globe, we're asking the same set of questionnaires. And in that questionnaire, we do have a question related to how they are perceiving about the learning, development, and career development in BG. So that is where the checkpoint that we are seeing that we are doing good or not good on that. So normally the learning and development score will be 80+% of preference. So which I can confident that, okay, that is not a problem, but as we want more, and we want to equip for the future leaders, the future capability. So I want to challenge the status quo and make it as an assignment so that we can bounce that idea, we can continue to learn and development. Yeah, and the last one is act, right? So after the survey, we will have also the analysis that normally Link as an EVE leader, she will be doing and lead that entire process of analysis for the annual survey, right? What is the strength? What is the opportunity, the weaknesses that we need to fix? How the brand come into the business leader and get their own alignment input. What is the detail cut by function, by channel, by seniority, by generation as well? by gender as well. What should we do? What is the overall plan? What would be the customized plan that we do for each group and each function, for example? Right? And then we even like take the focus group discussion, which cover around 25% of the organization, across level, across function, across seniorities, to double check again. Okay, so if you score the survey this like 80 or 60, for example, so what does it mean? What is the initiative we should include in the next year? And then it is April and May already, so we start all over again about planning for the new fiscal year. So that is how EVE is continue to be elevated every year as we do the plan, do, check, act. Does that answer your question on how we do that? Yes. Yes.
Races, ages. So how do you, you said that you have a questionnaire. Is it an open-ended questionnaire or is it simply yes or no? Because like different people will respond differently in some
Okay.
cases.
Lynn, you want to add?
We actually have both. So as Yuan already shared before, so we'll have the part where they do the ranking, but of course we'll have the open-ended questions for them to input the further comments towards what they already ranked above. And then as a survey, as the person who do the survey, your identity will be anonymous. So of course, it will not be shared with HR, like who specifically said these things. But as an HR, we can do some analyze based on the future. For example, I can see the group of, let's say, by seniority, by level, by function, to see what are the common comments and what are the score for that specific group. So we can see the analytics at the insight itself, but not the individual answers. But sometimes we already serve our needs. So I hope that it answers your questions. Yes. And also back to what you asked before, why we don't just force the people to learn. Actually, we believe should be a balance between a push and pull strategy. So as long as you push to the learners to learn it themselves, but there should be the pull aspect to it as well. So for example, these days there's so many changes, updates in terms of technology, and also how the humans behave as well. So you may realize that you're having a shorter and shorter attention span, right? With all the TikTok, reels, the short form, now your attention span is certain. So before, it's really easy for each of us to watch a YouTube video which is like 30 minutes long or like 1 hour long. Then it's so much easier for the older generation to go through these materials, these training videos that is like 1 hour long. But now for us, like let's say our Gen Z generation and moving forward, let's say Gen Alpha, we're so used to the short form. We're so used to TikTok. We're so used to entertainment. So now how can we pay attention? Like we try to, let's say sometimes I have to admit, right? I come to the training platform and say, oh, this is a topic that I really want to learn. And then I open that and then about 2 hours and then about 5 minutes, I zone out. Right? So even though I know that it's good for me, even though I know that I should do it, but I cannot. My brain is not capable of, focusing on a very like boring content or like long content anymore. Because that's how our brain is functioning and it's shifting. It's like it happens. So, and it's happening, everywhere. It's not just individuals, but it is how we're shifting towards that. So it's also have to come to it how we can help to adapt to the changes in the human behavior to support them as well. It's not just like pushing, hey, these are the 2 hours training, go learn it and do the quiz. So it has to be about pushing people as well. And so we want to more strategic push for push. So for example, let's say it's very easy. So let's say the sales team, right? Now I give them 5 courses about, let's say, objection handling, about customer JDP, like joint business planning. So these are 5 courses. I throw to them. I said, hey, complete this one by this date. And the team leaders, please make sure your team members complete that. That's the push. And then you mean like what we do towards them if they do not do that, right? So of course, there will be some reinforcement from a team leader that you have to do this, but what we want to achieve is that it has to be both ways. So we push them out in, and they have to want to learn it as well. Right, so of course, it's the same with RMIT assignment. So now it's easy for you have to do your assignment, just do it. But like, at the same time, the lecturers or the faculty, they have to really tailor the assignment to meet with your needs, to really help to tailor with what's actually happening there in the industry, to make it practical for you guys. So if they want to push, they can just throw the assignment, but now they want to pull so that you can see the need into that. You want to do this. You want to do it well so that you know it's good for you, right? So it's should be the balance as well.
Yeah, and actually, if you ask me, right, we are learning like in BG, the learning and training and development is not for the sake of completing the checklist. So for example, if you give 5 courses, I'm not sure if the people who complete the 5 courses, the soonest, can be the best performers in their job. So we need to again step back and think what is the learning and development designed for. So at the end of the day, we want them to elevate into their experience, into their skill, and can apply into the job and generate values of that job, right? So if forcing, okay, they can complete that 5 courses like by the deadline, else they will got the like verbal warning or written warning from the manager, or they can impact their rating for the year, as we have also the annual rating system that impact your pay and your salary and your bonus kind of. Then, okay, one person still complete the course and still cannot do the work well. So what is it for? So that's why the moment you feel very happy, enjoy the learning journey, that is where your brain open up and it becomes your own skill. And that skill translates into the performance. So that is much more important than just force you to complete that course. I just want to build up on that a little bit.
How do you quantify the understand work well to when you get quantification for that KPI features?
Yes. Take an example of the program we call it Vietnam PS Academy. So PS stands for Product Supply, so Vietnam Product Supply Academy. So that is the annual learning program, training program that we have defined as 5 skill lock that as a Vietnamese talent we need to acquire. And every year we do it once per year. And that is the 2-day dedicated training. So that is the 10% that we acquired, right? The 10% classroom training every year, 2 days dedicated into the capability learning. We shut down all the line, the machine, focus on learning. And after that, we do have offer of the line manager coaching to debrief on the training topic that they already learned, right? And we also have the mentor list for them to come meet and match with the mentor. And they set their own journey to like visit the topic on how the learning look like for them. And we also have requested the manager to include the learning, for example, that employee learning about the strategic thinking. So what does it mean by strategic thinking when it applies into his work plan? For example, he needs to be very clear and using the integrated work system tool to work on the root cause analysis of that machine breakdown, for example. That is when his strategic thinking and logical thinking applies into the work. So the measure of 70% will be ensure every time there's a machine breakdown on the manufacturing line, he needs to come up with the root cause analysis in less than 1 week. So that's the key measure we put in the impact plan, the work plan annually for the employees, for example. And that is when we can measure how the 10% going to the 20% and can be measured by the 70%. So that is the end-to-end learning as one example. I hope it answers your questions. So if you were me, would you allow the overtime for them to learn? Is it a sustainable solution? No, then you have the answer. Why do you think it is not sustainable to pay and learn? To pay the overtime for employee to learn? Yeah, and you can imagine if you allow one, for example, I allow him to learn with the overtime. The next day he tells to you, and then I don't know if you learning or not, but you key in 2 hours of learning at home. How can I validate? And imagine like the whole group manipulate the system. How can I validate? Right? And also that is another problem that you create because you fix the small problem, you create a bigger problem. And when it comes to overtime and like overutilizing the overtime, it comes back to the employee regulation, employee labor, employee relation and labor relation issue that you need to fix later. So for example, one employee they doesn't need to manipulative of the system by learning and then key in the overtime, right? But because in that month they have some of the emergency, okay, I need money, let's key in like 10 hours of overtime, take the money of our salary that month. And that is the best performer in your team, for example. And as per the regulation, when you manipulate the system, and one of our value is integrity, and that is the data integrity violation. You ended up need to terminate the employee because of your one intervention that not being like thought through. So do you think will you do that also? And anything you want to share? And I have to be very truthful, huh? So in university, we pay to get the learning. Outside of that, there's nothing like that. I have to admit, only in the school, in the university, you pay to get the learning. But now, right, you learn, you upskill yourself to earn the pay. So I don't think like using overtime enable people to learn is a sustainable solution. Yes, ma'am.
Which employee group at P&G would benefit most from personalized learning pathways, and how does your HR teams typically segment like the learners from for like LD purposes?
You mean which group will benefit most?
Yeah, which employee group at P&G would benefit most from personalized learning pathways?
Taylor, I think everyone. Because the case now is that we have material, we have e-learning system ready, right? But for example, if I tailor that clip like a TikTok one, just 30 seconds, the young generation may find, wow, super interesting. I learned like one sentence today. But also in the organization I mentioned earlier, there will be someone joined the company when I was born. So 30 years in the company already, right? And they find, does that mean there's just a few pop-up sentences and they call that learning? Never. So if I design and tailor for only one size, it cannot fit all. Right? So if you ask me which group we favor the most, I say that everyone. Yeah, and actually, if how to say, most of the employees still say that they prefer the classroom training and face-to-face training, like the face-to-face, not classroom, but face-to-face training. However, they also have a very diverse standard of the quality of trainers. For example, if I like the way Lin shared to me, right, I will feel very interested. I get inspired by her story, or I always want her to be the trainer. However, there's some person, okay, I don't want to learn from Lin. I normally got inspired by the very long experienced people versus the young generation, right? So that comes from another unmet need that even the employee don't know how to code it out. They just say that I cannot learn that way, and they don't know how, and they cannot think of, okay, what else? Although they share with me, okay, they want face-to-face learning, right? But it ended up that even for the face-to-face learning, they just can't feel satisfied. Yes, that can be a real reason or that can just be a reason for reason.
Have you experimented with any incentive structure or like reminders to encourage continuous learning? It's all like what work and what didn't.
We do have the reward and recognition system where we value the progress versus the outcome. So we have the leadership and the learning mindset in the NatCon clip that you just watched as well. So we do have that motivation where the people manager can grant you the award if they see you working well on your learning and development. And making progress via the work outcome.
Say that 10% of training is in classroom and the company will shut down machine focus on training and 20% for manager and 70% for experience. For the first 30%, it's easy to measure how many sessions the employee attends, how the manager can observe their performance via the daily operation. But how about the 70%? How can you measure? How can you quantify? I know that you are human centric, right? But you have to quantify to analyze the data to understand whether your strategy is effective to your organization. Right?
Okay. You bring a very good point. And actually, when it comes to the measurement, I will use the word SMART. You know what does SMART mean? Yeah. So the wording can be a little bit here and there different, but specific, measurable, achievable, smart, or realistic, or relevant, depends. And then the last one is time bound. So when it goes from the training classroom checklist, okay, I attend this class, the one-on-one with the manager for coaching section or the mentorship coaching, okay, I check, right? That is easy to measure because you did it and you take it, right? And then for 70%, I'm not really, how to say, interested in how you do that. I look at the result, performance. And in BG, we make it very clear that result in context is very different from the result. Because if I only look at number measurement, for example, this year, if I assign for link, that link for the employee survey, you need to score 88, right? And in another country, another HR manager got the score gap. Okay, that country you need to get to 90, right? And at the end of that year, Link got 88 for the employee survey of her organization. The other HR got 90 for the employee survey. But that employee get lower rating than Link. What does it mean? By number, we all understand that 90 is bigger than 88, right? But you need to put it in the context. For example, what is the base that Link is improving from which base to 88? How about she's delivering from 80 to 88 versus the other side HR, right? Last year she got 93 and this year she got 90 only. So that is the reduction in the performance versus the improvement. So the result need to be considered in context. And I'm not really like, I empower Link to make the call on what would she will be doing with the organization to achieve that improvement, right? But at least from the assessment standpoint, I need to be fair to her. So that SMART need to be given in a relevant context.
So, have final two questions. Think about there are two times talking about 2 hours.
So I'm open if you need a little bit more time, but yeah. Or if you still have questions, you can send it later so that we can address and we can stay back around 10 minutes. Yeah. So you have. you give them work to do, so I have to be sure that they have time to learn. Do you want to answer?
So this one, as I shared before, it must be a balance between push and pull. That's why you can't go 100% push, because you will not know what are the needs or what are the priorities that person is working on at some specific time. So there's one thing that I was about to say earlier, but I couldn't. So at any company, not just PG, we're paying for you to perform. So at any time, performance should be very, very important for us to, measure. So it's also linked back to the question how you measure 10, 20, 70, right? So 70 is on the performance. So you have to be very clear that learning is to support performance. So I don't think there's any time that we have to put them on a scale to see which one I have to prioritize, either learning or performance, because by nature, people are going to just have to prioritize performance. That's the human nature, because as you go to work, you have to make sure that you do your work. I don't think that I ever see someone who said, I'm too busy to learn, so I cannot do my work. So that's really rare. So mostly it's on the other part of I'm too busy to work, I can't learn. Yeah, so it's more on that. So that's why we come up with that case study on how you can help to support the employees to learn while delivering the work.
And actually in BG, we do equip our people manage others with the skill of situational leadership. Right? You can search that model on the internet as well. So situational leadership is that it defines the way you give the training, coaching, and work and learning priorities for the employee point in time. For example, when Ling was the new hire, when she joined for internship, right? The willingness and the learning agility is very high. But the capability and the performance at that time, I cannot measure. So I assume it will be to a lower path because she's new to the company. So that is when I need to spend more time as a people manager of her to coach, to show her this is the way B&G doing the slide, doing the one pager, doing the recommendation. This is how you should looking at data analytics, right? I spend more time. So the work will be at that time will be a little bit less than learning. So that will be the again co-creation between the employee and the manager. So Ling need to tell me that okay, today I need some more time to learn about this one. So can I reschedule the deadline of the work a little bit later? So that will be the mutual agreement, the mutual success, the mutual alignment between Ling and the manager. And even she come to me the next day and said, okay, I complete all of the learning. I learn fast. I'm a fast learner. So I complete everything already. So can you put me more work? Can you give me more work? So that is always negotiable and discussion, like mutual discussion between both that you define at which level and which time. And for some of the employees, right, where they are very good and have the high capability, but because they are too long in one position, for example, let's say too long in one position, and they don't want to learn anymore. So that is why generally in BG for management level, we change role every 2 or 3 years. So that the learning agility is always there, the motivation is always there, and you always have something new for you to learn. The moment you master that skill, that is when you move to the next assignment.
Direct manager plays a very important role. So when you design for this case study, please consider how you can engage different stakeholders to support you with this design as well. Because the design itself, the system itself, not just work on its own, because we're managing human, right? So there's a lot of stakeholders that you can leverage within your company, within the network. So to deliver the best results.
And for this last piece is actually very important into the how. I think we talk a lot about the what and the why, right? Why we need this one. This is a part and a key pillar in the EBE program that we want to drive. And that's one of the top motivator when the company work in the company in general, and when employee work in the company in general. We are also talking about the what, right? What we have done, what we can do better. And now this is the how. that you need to zoom into. So we'll be looking forward in the coming presentation, right? What can be the approaches, or what can be the tool, what can be the approaches, what can be the tool, or what can be the self-design platform, or what can be the idea, at the same time deliver the training program, right? But at the same time, make it very interesting learning journey for the employee, and at the same time can be customized and tailored. You learn when you want, and you still deliver the outcome objective of the performance that you are delivering. So format, incentive, communication, communities, or you can share that, okay, Jigoang and Link, I design you the full year program. And this is what you can like consider applying it in PNG or in any of the projects that come in. So,
And who knows if your recommendation actually comes to life. And at that time, we're definitely gonna share with you that, hey, we actually bring your solution to us. And who knows if we will be our future colleagues.
yeah, and then the next capstone subject that Dr. Erhan invited us back, he will be here with us, standing here, not sitting there anymore.
To be a my free.
Yeah.
There is one online question.
Yes. How is PG currently thinking about AI in learning and development? Okay, good question. Do you want to answer?
So I think this question is quite general, so I will interpret that into
You
two
can
ways.
introduce about PG generative AI.
Yeah. So I will interpret it in two ways. First is that how we, bring AI to our employees, and second is how we use AI to enable our L&D, right? So two ways. The first way is how we bring AI to L&D. So first thing first, for us, of course, we know the power of AI. So we have our own ChatPG. It's not ChatGPT, right? It's like ChatPG that we bought the model from ChatGPT, and also currently we just update with the Gemini also. So we have our own ChatPG where we're going to use it exactly the same as ChatGPT and Gemini, but that's going to be a completely safe space for you to work with a highly restricted data. So of course, when it comes to like AI, there's a lot of things that comes with data privacy, right? So when you use in a public, let's say ChatGPT or Gemini, there's a very high risk of you getting data leakage. But for us, we understand and get the importance of AI nowadays, so we build it very early on to have our own ChatGPT, so that you can just feel free to work with whatever business you or highly restricted data within that ChatGPT without the fear of getting data leakage. So that is the first thing first. Then we also have involved that. We also have our image PG. We have our video PG. So
We have our SPG.
yeah, SPG. And then
inside
PG,
So
where
when you
you
put data, it will generate the insight.
correct.
So FYI, we're not only selling soap and shampoo. We also have a hub, an IT hub of 1,000 employees sitting in Manila, Philippines, to do all of the in-house adaptation AI tool for BNG for the purpose of learning from the Gemini, whatever the tools having available in the globe, but make the information one way. So they learn, but they never share, to ensure that we get our confidential information restricted within BNG only. Because one thing of the AI is that it leaks data. Yeah, it learns and it leaks
Machine
data at the same time. And for the business data, you cannot do so. So that's why BNG developed the in-house AI platform. We call it also generative AI in BNG.
Okay, can we have one last question? Because we have to respect the timing. Everyone's time is important. 2 kids waiting at home.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, also I have one Korean wife, a tiger wife waiting for me at home. Okay, any last question? Yes, please.
Yeah, feel free.
Okay.
The last person to ask.
If not, if it's naturally, is there any learning system that we can refer to? And then the next question is, throughout this development, I think that you're focusing on people side about data learning and how they interact with the lessons. However, are we able to like reallocate or like redesign the learning system in our assignment so that it can readapt with our like literature in our we only should focus on the people side.
The first thing first that you asked about the system that we have for LMD, the overview of the LMD system. And then the second questions you asked, what are our expectations for you to redesign this or
It's like there are two sides of the problem now. One is about the people incentive to learn, right? And one is may come from the system that is not quite adapting to people. So in our solution, which side we should focus more, or if we are able to work with the learning system, we are able to redesign the learning system. Are we like, you can have the assessment?
okay. So I agree with two questions. I will just answer quickly. So the first one, overview about LMD program, right? So I'll make it different level, we have global level, regional level, and country level. So on the global level, as I shared with you, we have the function university. So we have HR University, Brand University, Sales University, that's the first thing. Second thing, we have this called PGLA. So PGLA stands for P&G
Leadership Academy.
Leadership Academy. So PGLA it's just like LinkedIn learning, basically, to understand. So there's a list of different skills and that knowledge for you to learn. And it's not like function based, just like the university that I shared before. So it's more it's quite function agnostic. It means like it can be used for any function that you are. So that's PGLA. So these are the two that at the global level. Now moving on to the regional level, we're gonna have different regions. So let's say they will have some trainings. Yeah, we have some training programs where it is an activation of that region. So that can be ranges from different topics as well. And there's not a fixed calendar. So it's really based on the activation of the regional team. So let's say I can learn and join in the training at the same time one who's in Korea or in Japan or in Malaysia, let's say. So that's the regional. And the topic is like quite broad. So it can be applicable for people in different countries and markets. And then we have the country level, where it's a very tailored to the need of the country. So let's say it can either be the PGLA, but it makes offline, or maybe it can be some senior leadership. When they come to Vietnam, they have some market visit. Yeah, they're gonna have some vitamin section. So it's more ad hoc. So it's like they come and we utilize their time as they are here with us. They're gonna deliver some of the topics that we think that is needed for our Vietnam team. So we also have some of like training of our own Vietnam team as well. So there's some different levels to that we need to consider.
And you can design in a way that focus on the tool. For example, at the end of the assignment, you can submit only one tool that can be tailored. I know that today there are a lot of applications that, okay, they will just pop up in your phone, like the Facebook or the TikTok, and hey, then you have not learned this one, can you complete this one? So that is what I'm having in mind, but I'm open and looking forward to your creativity, just a suggestion. Instead of just focus on the content itself, because for the content itself, actually we are quite confident on that piece. It is more on the how to create the motivation, the hook, the right reminder, customer experience is what we are looking at and what we are looking for.
Yeah, and then you can add the aspects of how you engage the stakeholders to leverage that system to the max, and it will be perfect. So I think that wraps up for our Q&A as well.
Thank you.
Yeah, it come up. Don't worry, we will meet again. So they will meet us for the internship pitch selection. I hope some of you will have a chance to work with them, such a perfect company. Also, I'm very honored and also I'm very happy. Also, I learned a lot from you, your presentation. And also, I have one last question for you. So, you said your two kids bring you a good luck and you promoted.
So when are you being the head of the Vietnam operation?
So I can have, everyone saying that every time I have one kid, I got promoted to the next level.
Yeah.
So I will be planning to have the third one soon, so looking
Yeah.
forward. When I'm coming back and sharing the story with the RMIT future leaders, I can be like the regional role already, not
Yeah.
only being the HR lead for Vietnam.
Yeah, that's what was my intention. Thank you, Alan. But I hope you didn't produce this one because you produced a lot of things. And we prepared a small gift for you for your contribution. And thanks a lot for joining today. Remember again the RMIT.
Thank you everyone for the opportunity.
We will meet again for the selected groups in 29th of December from 9 to 12 o'clock, and we will announce which group will present to PNG for internship opportunity. Thanks for your time and attendance. Thank you very much.
Thank you everyone on the call also.
Yeah, thanks a lot. How do you find? Are they active?
Yeah, I think.
Engaging?
But I think compared